Letters and the mail mechanic have existed in the series since the beginning. It was always a cute way to send and receive letters to and from your villagers, and now, in New Horizons, to and from your friends. Whether we're talking to our favorite customer service representative, Pelly, or now just walking up to a wooden postcard stand and writing a letter, they still bring a certain charm and serotonin boost to the game. Letters are one way to get additional communication with your villagers, as well as getting excited to see what they sent you that day, or if they sent you something that day. What can you get back from letters? Are they worth your time trying to figure out how they work and how to get a reply back? This information is from the Incredible Ninja and was data mined after the 1.2 update. I'm assuming there hasn't been a crazy update on it since, but I'm no amazing coding genius, so I'm kind of assuming here. I feel like if there was a complete mail overhaul, we would have heard about it or seen some evidence while playing. Mail in New Horizons does have a lot to it. Let's start with the letters you send. Each piece of mail you send to your villagers is graded based on a few different characteristics of the letter. The game looks for these and calculates a mail score, as well as whether or not you'll get a friendship penalty if you do a no-no. This also determines the type of reply you'll receive back from the villager, if any. A letter with 3 or more curse words in it will cause the villager that you sent the letter to lose 3 friendship points. Throwing trash, spoiled turnips, failed quest items, weeds, and I'm not an expert, but probably bunny day eggs, will also result in the villager hating your guts and taking away 3 points. Disclaimer, calling bunny day eggs trash was a joke. These don't actually lose friendship points for your neighbors, but keep sending them to me and you'll absolutely lose points. When you send an item to a villager through the mail, like furniture, it will be added to their inventory, just like if you handed a neighbor a gift in person. If you want the house to keep its original look, don't send them gifts like furniture, clothes, and even assessed fossils. If you don't care, then by all means, flood them with leaves. Sending a gift in the mail does not get you any friendship points, however. So if you're sick of running around looking for that neighbor that you're still trying to get the photo from, don't bother sending them a letter because it won't help you. On certain occasions, you'll have a chance of triggering specific replies. These occasions are a villager's birthday in the next or previous 7 days, if the villager has just moved onto your island in the last 2 weeks, or if it's December and winter is about to begin, or June for the Southern Hemisphere people. The replies you have a chance of receiving back usually have some cool dialogue about said occasion. When you send the letter, the game tries to determine if you're talking about the special event or something else. There's a list of what are known as engrams that the game looks for to see if you're talking about the event specifically. Including engrams from the categories of words and phrases that are in the game will increase the chances of the villagers replying back. Adding the villager's name and island name to these letters increases the chance of receiving a reply by 5% each. This table shows the chances of receiving a reply based on the conditions met in the letter you sent them. Replies are pre-written by the developer. There is no AI engine that constructs a reply based on what you sent them. The game analyzes the letter to decide which pool of replies you'll receive. For example, if you send a really long letter or send multiple letters in a day, there's a chance you'll receive a reply talking about how much you wrote or how much you care about them. As you've noticed, villagers do sometimes send you gifts. There's a way you can attempt to coax a villager to send you a gift back. This depends on the condition of the letter, the analyzed type that the letter meets, your friendship level with said villager, and whether or not you sent them a gift first. It's usually something you've already gotten your hands on if you've been playing for a while, so if you're trying to complete your catalog, don't worry about this too much. I used Science Island to fool around with the letters to test out all the data mined information to make sure it was still mostly accurate. While doing so, I realized that I was only getting mail from one villager without first sending a letter to them. Wolfgang is the one neighbor on Science Island whose photo I have, so he's the only one with a high friendship level. None of the other villagers were sending me mail first. These other neighbors just passively aggressively telling me they're upset by never sending a letter. At least Wolfgang appreciates all the flattening of the island I've been doing. Are letters worth your time? From a completionist point of view, not really. You can't increase your friendship points with your neighbors, and the gifts they send are usually something you've already owned at one point. If you want a cool letter to show up in your mail every once in a while, it is a wonderful mechanic to play around with. If you really hate a villager, just send them your trash, and they'll hate you a little bit more. Letters are one of the mechanics I feel have improved over the years. I remember sending a completely legible, perfect English letter to my neighbors in the GameCube days and getting a reply back from them confused about what the heck I was saying. I do, however, miss talking to Pelly, Phyllis, and Pete. They were always a nice conversation, well, mostly nice. And it was fun to physically run to the post office and deal with the tediousness of sending one letter at a time. Maybe one day they'll be added back to New Horizons via a random holiday, like Rover. Oh, one can dream, okay? If you want more information on the specifics of the mail, the engrams that increase your chance of replies, and a deeper dive into the data mining process, check out Ninji's DEF CON presentation over on Hack Your Lives YouTube channel. I've linked it in the description and in the iCard. His genius is where all this information comes from, and the presentation is actually super interesting to listen to, especially if you're interested in coding or reverse engineering. Have you tried sending your villagers mail? What's the best gift or reply you've received from them? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. Bye!